Welcome to Lawn Rush. Today, this morning, we are going to be doing an early morning blade change on our mowers. This is where things get a little bit tough because it's hard to keep up. And when you've got to, keep everything sharp, when do you do it? You work so late, and it gets to the point where it just has to be done. It has to absolutely get done. So I'm gonna pull these mowers out. I'm probably gonna run a little bit longer with the 52, but with the 36, it really needs it. Like, you can tell the way it's cutting, it's time for it to get its blades changed. Now the 52 being a little bit more power, it's the 37 horsepower Vanguard, the blades get a little bit dull and it still cuts. So I'm gonna run it a little bit longer. Let's take a look here how these look. Honestly, not bad. You can just see the one, unless I've hit something. Is it sharp? No, it's not. It's not razor sharp. You can't cut yourself on it. But if you think about it, that's how they come from the factory. And like I said, with the power and everything on this mower, not a factor. Now on our 36, it's starting to leave that strip in the middle, especially when the grass is tall. Don't have as much power per blade. It's a 15 horse compared to a 37 horse. So I'm gonna go ahead and just change the 36 blades, and that will get us by for a little bit longer. No sense in doing these ones just yet. Like I said, it's still cut just like as if they were factory sharp. But anyway, let's go ahead and get these blades switched out. All right, got the mower up and the blades off. Now this is what is coming off of the mower, and this is what is going on the mower. Now these are factory Ferris blades, very good blade, tons of lift. What was really hurting me is not even so much that they were dull, is that they're gator blades, and we're going into some thick grass. Pair that with only 15 horsepower and you don't have enough power to get a good cut with it being thick green lush spring grass. Now, are they dull? A little bit, but not too bad. I don't really think it's critical to have razor sharp blades. These ones are pretty sharp though. You wouldn't want to really run your finger too much across that. You could cut yourself, but they don't need to be razor sharp. I mean, that sharp edge on these will probably last like a day or two, and they'll dull. But even the blades, when these were new, this is only the first grind on these, but when these were new, they weren't razor sharp. They're just kind of dull at the end. Trying to keep razor sharp blades can kind of drive you crazy. Don't need to be razor sharp. Any new mower that you buy is going to have kind of dull to the touch blades. It's really that angle that matters. And these ones were ground by the shop, but yeah, as long as that angle's pretty good, they're going to dull pretty quick. No point in keeping razor sharp. These are actually still sharp as long as they're not blown out, which they're not. It's just the fact that they're gators. I don't have enough power to really run gators in the spring with this mower. I think if the gators were on the big 52, it might be okay, but just right now with this weather, with this type of grass, high lift, regular OEM blade, and I think Ferris got some of the best blades on the market right now. But anyway, let me go ahead and get these on the mower, and then I'll go ahead and shoot some grease in these. See, I got the grease gun out right here, but what I like to grease mainly is my spindles and my wheels. Now think about the wheels. They spin constantly. The front caster wheels, they're working hard. Even more so on this mower because there's more weight on the front. This mower, you can just lift the 36 inch, you can just lift the front end with one hand. It's probably like 40-50 pounds of weight on the front end. But on this guy, you got a significant amount of weight on your front end. You can't lift it by hand. There's probably like 300-400 pounds on this front end all the time, maybe more. But greasing these wheels. If you do not grease these wheels, you will see that they will wear out a lot quicker. This solid state rubber material will wear down, and it is very expensive to replace these. They work hard. Another thing that works really hard is the spindles. When you hit the blades, they're spinning high RPM, high load, high speed, wear and tear on the belt. So right here, all the spindles, I like to hit those on a weekly basis, as well as the wheels. Now all of these other greasing points, let's see, like you got one here, you got one here, you got one here, you got one down in here. Those ones I don't hit as often. A couple times a year, twice a year, it's fine. But on a weekly basis, I like to hit those key components that are working real hard, that are spinning, that are getting real hot. And they take a lot of grease, actually. The wheels take a lot of grease, and the spindles take a lot of grease. I can kind of tell when those spindles aren't really greased good enough if I kind of neglect it. When I hit the blades, I can, maybe call me crazy, but maybe I can feel a little bit of a difference, vibration, maybe even in these front wheels. If you don't, I've had a mower where on my old 52, which is actually over here, I neglected to grease the front wheels on this mower, and it literally seized up. The front wheels were seizing up, and they were just dragging on the ground. I mean, it wasn't literally dragging, but the tires were just wearing flat because of the extra force it took. And I had to buy a whole new tire assembly. The whole assembly comes with bearings and everything, and I bought the new assemblies. It cost me like $200 per tire or something crazy like that. But at the end of the day, that was what fixed it and made me realize, these tires, they take abuse. They're getting submerged in water and doing all this extra turning, and every time you turn, and this mower don't have a ton of weight on the front end. Now with the bigger 52, with the stand-on mower with the more weight on the front, even though I grease it regularly, you can still see that these front tires, they wear out a lot quicker than they do on the walk behinds. You can see that they have this little weird uneven look to them. So they're bigger, they're beefier, they're Carlisles, and they're going to be expensive to replace. It's going to be a full assembly, bearings and everything. So something to think about. This thing, it's only got like 400 hours on it, and we're already seeing some wear on the tires. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and grease this thing up. I'm gonna hit the spindles and tires this time. The rest of this stuff can wait, but yeah, let me go ahead and do that.